was a time when we'd be the last to leave, watching the sun come up while everyone fell asleep. The music was always loud, and I'd smoke and drink too much until I'd fall into your arms, into your loving touch. Now as the years roll by, time has reeled me in. I slowed down a notch or two from the way things were then. Now these old ways of mine, I've left them behind. Those crazy days are through. The only thing I still do, like I used to do, is carry this torch for you. I remember the day we'd pack our bags and run, chasing a crazy dream into the morning sun. Now as the twilight falls, I find I'm satisfied watching the fire glow, as long as you're by my side. Here in my heart it sings, time has passed me by. I love you as much today as the very first time. And those old ways of mine, I've left them behind. Those crazy days are through. The only thing I still do, like I used to do, is carry this torch for you. I still want you now, the way I wanted you then. If I could do it all over, I'd do it all over again. Those old ways of mine, I've left them behind. Those crazy days are through. The only thing I still do, like I used to do, is carry this torch for you. The only thing I still do, like I used to do, is carry this torch for you. All right. Good morning. I just felt like everybody needed to hear that song. Isn't that a beautiful song? That is a beautiful song. You want to hear it done right? Look up a group called Seldom Seen. Seldom, SELDOM, and then Scene, SCENE. And there's several versions on it, but the one I like the most is it's not a video, it's just like a picture, and it's almost like a crime scene. And they got like the drawing, you know how they draw the outlines of the body, except it's outlines of instruments like guitar, mandolin, base and stuff like that, and they got like a reporter or something or an investigator there. And but anyway, man, that's some good music. A fellow by the name of Tim O'Brien. Tim O'Brien and some other dude, I can't remember who wrote that song. Tim O'Brien sang with the group Hot Rise. I guess that's probably what he's most famous for. He sang with his sister some, but he sang several groups down through the years. But I think he's probably more famous for singing with the group Hot Rise, Hotrize. And they were some kind of good. Now, they knew what they was up to. They knew what they was all about. Got a few folks already joining us this morning. Hey, Rebecca Touched by Yarn, always good to see you. Good to see you, Miss Gwen, always a pleasure. Deborah Rasugiolo, good to see you down there in Florida. And there's our good friend Lazy Days Ahead, Jesse and Lisa, always good to see them. And got our friend Bill. Bill, last days home, Brother Bill, always like visiting with Brother Bill. Every now and then he'll, me and him will chat a little bit when we have time, when we're not too busy. I appreciate that very, very much. Thank you very, very much. Hey, Linda, good to see you. Always good to see you. I'm doing very, very well. Thank you. Life is good here in South Mississippi. Thunderstick. Hey, y'all, go over there and check out Thunderstick Homestead. I think that you would be highly impressed with his ability to do things. And I just started watching him, and I discovered something. When you have to figure out a way to do things for whatever reason, I think that you come up with ways. You're smart. That's the inventive spirit of America. That's what grew us as a country, is people seeing an obstacle and figuring out how to get over that obstacle and working their way around it. And I'm afraid we're have raised a generation that just wants to sit back and whine a little bit is all they want to do instead of working out things. Hey there, morning King Chuck. Yeah, I probably shouldn't have done that. But anyway, you know, I'm just going on. I'm just picking and just going on with folks. That's just the nature of me, I guess. Y'all, I know it's not just to us, but it's been some kind of hot for 2 months now. We've had probably, I think they've said some kind of record heat. Well, I don't know if it's a record. I think maybe back in 1950 something, they had several days of 100-degree temperature and so many days, not consecutive days, but so many days of it as well. But I think we're probably going to be pushing it close. This week, we may set a record here in South Mississippi. I seen one of the news stations was saying, a little town right here next to us over here in Columbia, Mississippi, they're saying 109 degrees. 109 degrees. That's just crazy talk. They was talking about 104, 107. And then I don't know what the feel like temperature is. I'm sure it's crazy, but it's getting kind of dangerous for a lot of folks. And I'm just thankful that we have air, and I'm thankful that Lord has blessed us as he has. But I pretty much give up on my yard. I think the yard is, well, it'll come back. I mean, it always has. But it's dry, y'all. It's dry. Hey there, Zany May. I did not get that package yesterday. I was hoping I would so I could bring it up here on the live today and show everybody. It kind of concerns me because I know there's some plants, and it worries me that people, may not be as conscientious of things. It's just a package to them, so they might leave it in the heat or whatever. But as soon as I get it, I'm going to be on it. I'm going to be trying to resuscitate it probably. I'll have it in Chuck Lee plant triage, trying to get life support on it. It depends on how, what kind of conditions it traveled over here in. This heat is no joke, y'all. It's just no joke. And so, and I can't imagine, some people, they mail like animals and stuff, chickens and rabbits and lizards and birds and all that. My goodness, can you imagine what kind of a mess that'd be if they forgot them in a warehouse somewhere? Oh my goodness. Hey, Paul, good to see you. PSB Odyssey. I've got something I was thinking about this morning while Blenda and I were walking, and then I had to come back and I had to water all the plants and everything. Hey, let me just stop for just a minute and say hello to Shannon. Good to see you, Shannon. Always good to see Shannon. Journey along with Shannon. And got Deb, Miss Coffee Walks and whatever. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I don't either. I don't know how they do it. I used to, but I guess I got lazy or something. And I got where I didn't have to. Back in the day when I was roofing houses and doing construction work, and I mean, just a number of different things. Worked in the oil field some. Those things, it bothered me. I know it did because I probably was complaining about it, but I can't imagine doing it today. I just can't. The very thought of having to work all day in that heat would just, I couldn't do it. I can't do it now. I go outside and I try and work. I try and get out there and I try and work up a sweat, because I think it's good for you. I think it's something that you need to do. But, after a while, you don't want no heat stroke either. You know what I'm saying? You dig what I'm saying? Yeah, I know they said that. And I hate that. Maybe it'll come today. Because I don't lose that lemongrass. I know you said I needed to get it planted pronto, and I wanted to get it out because I look forward to that. I'm still looking it up, the different things on where to plant them and how to plant them and all that kind of stuff. So I hope I don't mess them up. I really do. Hey, hello, person turquoise waving. Let's see. Not real sure who that is. Your body gets used to working in the sun. I guess it does. I don't know. I don't know if mine gets. I think my getting used to it days might be over. I hope not. I hope not. I hope I still got a few years left in me. Hey there, little Southern brothers. Good to see y'all. Appreciate you coming in. Want to do your laundry? No. That's right. You don't have to work the sweat bucket. You just walk outside and sit down. You'll be soaked. It's almost 80 degrees and it's just 9:15. Going to be a scorcher today. It is. Little Southern brother, I can't remember where y'all are at. But I don't know if it really matters because they got that heat dome pretty much over most of the United States. So I'm pretty sure wherever you're at, it's kind of hot. I know it is down here in South Mississippi. South Mississippi is hot. Hills of Tennessee. Okay, I remember that now. I do remember that. My forgetter works really, really good. I was walking this morning, y'all. Me and Blenda, we was up, and it was right at daylight. It was just starting to show a little light in the sky. You got to get up early now and do it because, if you wait too long, like they said, it's 9:15, it's already 80-something degrees, and I'm not real sure what it's saying here. But I know it's hot. I got a weather app on. Oh, there it is. I was looking in the wrong place. Right now it's showing, well, it's saying 85 here. It says it's only supposed to get up to 101 today. So that's less than what they were originally saying. Then 105 tomorrow, 104 Thursday, 101 Friday, 102 Saturday, 103 Sunday, 103 Monday. And then Tuesday it starts to drop off, 95, 92. So hopefully next week we'll that's right. Hey there, Jamie. Good to see you. I appreciate you coming in. Got peppers and squash put up. That's good. That's a good thing. I'm starting to get a few more squash. I got some that I planted later on, and I've been watering. Nice and cool, no humidity. I'm jealous. There you go. Me and Shannon will be heat hating buddies. Heat hating buddies. I was going to tell you something. Let's see who's texting me. Make sure. College I went to is always texting me something about, we want you to support this. We want you to support that. And I'm like, leave me alone. I don't know how to get off of it. They got my number. They always wanting something. Was walking this morning. Me and Belinda was talking. There's a whole lot of things that we talk about. And I'll just be honest with you. Sometimes I don't like to talk about where she works. I mean, I know she's got to talk, and I know she's got to vent and say things every once in a while that she's dealing with. I understand that. But for the most part, she don't. Most part, it's like she knows that my ear thing turns way down when all we talk about is work. I'm like, I don't want to talk about work. I don't want to talk about it. I want to talk about us. I want to talk about what we're doing, how we're, the plans that we got. I don't care about no drugstore. I just don't. But that's her life pretty much. That's where she spends most of her time. So I don't want to ignore that either. But anyway, so we get talking, then we get talking about our children and all the things that they're dealing with and going through and blah, 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 blah. And you know how it is if you got kids, especially if you got any kind of kids, grown kids, little kids, grandkids. It don't matter. That you want the best for them, right? I mean, you want, and you really, to me, I want them to be happy. I want to be settled. And I wanted to be, oh, hey, Ann, good to see you. Hey, just a couple more weeks. We'll see you over there in Alabama. Hopefully we'll get some good weather. I think it's supposed to cool off a little bit by then. So hopefully we'll get some good weather at that time. But anyway, you know how it is. You want the best for your children. You want the best for your friends. You want the best for people you care about. I've always wanted a quiet life. Does that make sense? I don't want no fussing and arguing. Me and my wife settled that early on when we first got married. I mean, early on we settled that we're not going to be yelling and screaming at one another. That's not a way to live life. I know families that is their life. That's what they do. That's how they live their life. So they just holler and yell and they wouldn't know what to do if they didn't. But I'm not doing that. And Belinda's the same way. She's not going to do it either. And so we discovered early on that we weren't going to be fussing and arguing and hollering, because that's not a way to live to me. I think there's a better way to live. I think that we can live our lives in peace and without a lot of drama, without a lot of issue. That's right. No drama. And so, but not everybody follows that line of thought, right? And not everybody you love follows that line of thought. Not everybody you care about follows how that what would make their life easier. And in all reality, you can't tell them. You can't. Sometimes people just got to make mistakes on their own. So, hey, Scott, good to see you. Good to see you. That's right. He didn't mean for us to do that. I'm here to start some drama. I know better than that. I know better than that. You ain't got the strength to do no drama because you've been eating carrot hot dogs and drinking smoothies. You got to get you a real hot dog every now and then. I'm just kidding. You've been doing real good, Andrea. You have. I'm proud of you and Mike. I really, really am. All right. Anyway, and so I was like, sometimes you just got to let people live their lives, right? It's not my job. They're delicious. It's not my job to run everybody's life, right? And there comes a point in time when your grown children, even, it's time for them to be adults. It's time for them to take on responsibility. As a parent, it's hard to pull away from that. I mean, you want to help them and you will help them. But hey there, Tiffany, and there's our good friend, old Stephen. I didn't even see you hop in there, Stephen. Good to see you. Appreciate you dropping in. I know you at work. I know you at work and got things going on, but you took the time to say hello. I appreciate that. You got to let them. You got to let them do things. You can't bail them out every time. Does that make sense? And it's hard for a parent to do. It's hard for a grandparent to do. It's hard for a friend to do because you care for them, you love them, and you want to help them. But sometimes you got to back off and you got to let them. You just got to let them do, and that's the only way they'll learn. That's the only way to learn. If you constantly are fixing their problems and they never learn. But anyway, I don't know how I got off on too far into that. I was, it makes sense, but it's hard. I know it is. I was out there, and after I walked and done my run, I always go out to my garden and water it, especially for the last 2 months because we've got pretty much zero rain. Go out there and feed and water the animals. And, just it takes a little while. And so I'm out there, and I about got to this point. I mean, there's some things that's dying. I mean, it is. It don't matter how much I water it. It don't matter how much I tend to it. It's just going to die. It's just going to die. And I put forth an effort, and I hope that makes sense because I want to relate this to life, that there's plants in my garden that are thriving. They are taking what I give them, the water that I provide, the nutrients that I provide, and that God provides, and they're thriving. And then there's others that's dying. There's others just they're gone. And I've been thinking about it for some time. I told Glenn, I said, am I wasting my time out here? Am I just wasting my time? Am I wasting my time? Should I just let it all die? Should I just let it all go? Because, I mean, I don't really need it. I don't need what I got in the garden. I guess I may a year from now, but as far as I know, I've got stuff, and I know things can change, and I could lose everything. I understand that, but as far as I know, I've got probably enough food in the pantry canned up and that would sustain me for a very, very long time. So it's not like I need it, but I enjoy it, right? I enjoy it. And yeah, hey, I'm watering in the morning and in the evenings. I'm watering just God wouldn't want us to give. That's right. And that's what I'm getting to. I thought about, am I just wasting money? I mean, because water takes money, and I've used a lot of it over the last month. Am I wasting my time? I mean, would it be better invested somewhere else in a different venue somehow, different avenue? Or anyway, I was out there and I was watering. I was pondering. I was pondering all these thoughts. It's a miracle in the making because she hardly ever cancels. I know. Hey, I thought about going out and washing my vehicle, but appreciate you, Thunderstick. I do. I really do appreciate you coming in. Well, I'm sitting out there and I'm watering this garden. I'm thinking, what am I doing? Hey, good morning, Byron. Good to see you. I'm thinking, am I just out here wasting my time? And I look at some of it, and some of it looks so good. Some of it looks like it's just thriving and it's getting along really well. I've got some things in the making, and I'm working toward next year, and I'm really working not just for next year, but for long term. TJC Farm, pasture brown, but weeds in the garden lush and green. Isn't that crazy? Weeds can grow anytime. I got these doggone announcements keep flying up on my screen. I don't know why they got to do it at this time, but they always do. That's right. Anything you can grow yourself without buying. And I like it. I like it better. Yeah, your okra's growing good. Sure is. And I'm sorry, I don't mean to ignore y'all. When I get something on my mind, I have a hard time. I have a hard time concentrating in two different areas. So I'm out there watering, and I'm asking myself, is this a waste of time? Is this a waste of time? I've got some peppers they're gone, and I got others that are still doing good, and I got some that's kind of on the brink. Hey, Christy, good to see you. Appreciate you coming in. If you've already been in here and I just missed you, I'm sorry. Sometimes I miss folks. I don't mean to. There's things that in my garden actually that is producing. I told you earlier I got a few squash. I got a bunch of peppers. I got more peppers. I know what to do here. I'm sorry, Zany May. I don't know why it does. Somebody was, I think in Leanne Mennonite Farmhouse Live yesterday, that her live kind of, somebody said that they got a commercial during their live. Never heard of having a commercial in a live. Anyway, so I'm thinking, I'm processing this, okay? I'm processing all, what should I do? Where should I go? I'm looking ahead. Okay, I know I've got another 6-7 days of this intense heat. But eventually it's going to cool off. It is. Eventually we get rain. Eventually we will, hopefully. And eventually things will start to liven up a little bit as far as the garden is concerned. I'll have some lettuce, or I have some greens of some sort, some brassicas, some carrots, some cabbage, and things like that. I will have. I still got to harvest our sweet potatoes, but I'm sitting out there. First time ever. I'm sitting out there watering. Scott. You seen somebody else get a commercial? They had to fix something in the settings. Okay. I don't know. That's right. You were at that live, wasn't you, Jamie? Okay. Uh, so when it comes to life, when it just comes to life, and of course, life has been compared to a garden over and over and over, right? It's been, plant, grow where you planted, uh, uh, a plant grows when it's watered or fed or, you know, okay, I can't think of a whole lot of scenarios, but I know there's a bunch of them out there where uh, gardens are used as uh, uh, in reference to life. But I'm thinking in life, there's people that's going to come and go, right? And it don't matter how much you water them, it don't matter how much you feed them, they're just going to go. It don't matter how much time you put into them. They're going to die. They're going to go. They're going to fade away. They're going to fade out of your life. There's going to be other, like the annuals, the flowers, a lot of the flowers that we plant and a lot of the vegetables and stuff that we plant that are annuals. That's right. That's right. One sows, one waters. God giveth the increase. You'll reap if you faint not. Garden of Eden. That's right. All kind of biblical stuff. But you think about like the flowers and the annual things that come, and you enjoy them throughout the year, through a season, and then they're gone. And there's people like that too, isn't it? There's people that come into your life and you enjoy them, and you feed into them and they feed into you, and you just enjoy them. But life happens. Parable of the sower. Life happens, and then life may call them away somewhere, or I used to tell my kids when they was in high school, I said, you got a lot of friends now. And they did. They had a lot of friends in high school, and they always were doing stuff. And I said, you enjoy that now, because when you graduate high school, that's going to change. And I wasn't saying that to be a Debbie, a downer, whatever they call them. I wasn't saying that. I was just trying to prepare them, to help them to understand. And, in their minds, it's like, no, we'll be best friends forever. We'll never lose contact with one another. I said, well, people's going to go off to college. People's going to go off to work. People's going to get married. They're going to start having children. And y'all are going to do all that. And you're not going to have the time that you once had to put into Friday nights and Saturday nights and all that kind of foolishness. You getting strawberries in the house. Those are growing for me, not outside. So I started more for the inside of the house, garden inside. Okay. I ain't never planted no I got strawberries planted, but I hadn't really tended them. I just hadn't tended them. I hadn't tended my strawberries and I hadn't tended my blackberries, but I'm going to try and implement that a little bit more this coming year and try and take better care of them. And I also want to root. A friend of mine's got some Concord grape vines that he's had them all his life. So it's 50 something years old, at least. And he's got 2 of them that has survived. And I'm going to try and get some this spring or this winter, early, late winter, and try and root them. Try and root as many of them as I can. So I'll have some and he'll have some. So he'll have some in case his old vines die. And I want to get some muscadine and go ahead and get them planted and try and get some of those established as well, just to have them. I've got blueberries. I want to get some peaches. I want to grow some peach trees and some, other pear and apple, things like that. But I want to put that all out at my dad's place. And really out there, what I want to try and do, I want to try and get me a place where I can set up. It's not a lot of land, but it's surrounded by a lot of land. And I want to try and set it up where I can have it for deer later on. For my grandbabies, when they start getting 10, 15 years from now, they'll be wide open. And I hope some of them take to the outdoors. If they do, then I'll have a place for them, that they can come see Pop and just go outside and have a place to go hunting. Yeah, Concord Grapes, he's it's amazing. I didn't know they lasted that long, but I mean, they're over 50 something years old. He's a little young. He's maybe a year or two younger than I am, and I'm 55. I'll be 56 in a couple months. And so he's either 1 year or 2 years behind me. Chuck, you're a deer. I'm a deer. Yeah, I know. You are a deer, Linda. I used to tell my kids when we drive down the road and see a bunch of cows, I said, "Look, deer." And they look, "I don't see no deer." I said, "Yeah, deer old cow." Wah, wah, wah. They go to your neighbor's orchard, then to your pond for a drink. Well, there's a little pond out there on the place, so they have a place to go get water. And they also got a lot of hedge bushes and stuff. I just want to try and figure it out. I don't know if I'll do it or not, but if I'm going to do it, I need to start now because I'm not getting any younger, and the grandkids are not getting it. 10 years from now, Riley will be 16. Noah will be 15. Time rocking on. My little West man, he turned 4 in July the 25th, which is my mom and dad's anniversary. So in 10 years, he'll be 14. West man. And I'm hoping I can get him, interested in stuff. I don't know, I've never dealt with Down syndrome that much. I used to do that too. But I know many of them have jobs. You may have got the property passed on to your granddaughter. Yeah. And you always think, you got to think ahead. Don't you? Especially, I don't know. How old are you, Chuck? I'm older than you. I might be the oldest here. You can't be that much older, Zany May. I'm 56. I'll be 57 in December. I always figured we was close to the same age. If you just hold your age better than I hold mine, I reckon. Which a lot of people can say that, but you got a lot more energy than I do too. I done forgot what I'm talking. I'm older too, gonna retire hopefully next year. Well, I hope it all works out for you. Your little sister had Downs. I kept her the last 18 years. She passed at 57. Oh, goodness gracious. And I don't know how I got to be careful because my daughter gets real sensitive, the way people talk about Down syndrome. And most people aren't saying things to be ugly. They just don't know how to phrase words, and people that's, living on the end of their nerve or end of their feelings, sometimes they're real sensitive. Hey, Randy, good to see you. But he'll be, you'll be 64 Friday. Well, happy birthday, Andale. Happy birthday. You think you're 58 or 59. The older you get, the more you start forgetting how old you are, huh? That's right. She was. To have somebody by her side. But Tiny Man, West Man, he's such a sweet little baby. And, he's 4 years old, and I still think of him as just a baby. And his daddy is into like machinery, bulldozers and things like that. So I'm sure. Hey, Sharon, it's Sharon. Sup, Rio? I'm sure he'll be driving a tractor and all that kind of stuff. He comes over to Pops. He's going to help me garden and do things like that, I'm sure. And I may take him hunting or fishing or whatever. But I lost track of what I was talking about. Passed away at 52. Yeah, there's a lot of issues that I know. Westman, he said Charity has to take him all along. He's very susceptible to a lot of different things. She has to take him to Jackson once a week for some kind of therapy up there. I think it's maybe how to chew food. He don't chew food too well. And then she has to take him here to Hattiesburg also once a week for another kind of therapy. There's so many different kind of therapies, physical therapy, occupational therapy. I don't know what all that they got. I think autism, I think you were talking about. No, Tiny Man has Down syndrome. Tiny Man is a Down syndrome baby. I don't know the correct terminology for it. I just don't. I mean, my daughter and my wife have told me 1,000 times probably, but just to be honest with you, some things just don't stick up here. It takes me a while to get them stuck. I'm sorry. I got more people texting me and calling me this morning. I don't know what to do. It's good for them. It really is. My little man, he stood up the other day, and he stood up for a long time, and he took his first step. I mean, it was just one step, but it was still a step. It was like he put that foot, and then it scared him, I think, and he fell down. Which, he gets up on one of them little things that you push around, and he can do that. But if you hear something, that's Paul's bird in the background, and then a frog outside the window. But I every little milestone is such a exciting time. It's an exciting time. It really is. And I think he don't really chew his food. He just kind of, you got to put it in. He just like a dog, just swallows it down. But I noticed the other day when he was here, we kept him Friday night and Saturday, and I noticed when he was eating, Blenda was feeding him, and I noticed he was chewing. So that's getting better. I don't know how you teach somebody that kind of stuff. I'm thankful that there's people that go to school for that and learn how to. Because I would be at a loss. I'd be like, I don't. How do you teach somebody to chew? I don't know. One step for mankind. Your sis started walking upright at 4. Okay. Well, Tiny Man just turned 4. He just turned 4, and he's not walking. He can stand up and, like I say, walk behind a push thing, but he can't. That's all he can do. I don't know if somebody get deleted. I'm sorry. I don't know. They might have thought somebody was spam or something, or whatever they called it. I don't know. Hey, Thunderstick, good to see you back. Thank you, Stephen. I appreciate it. chewing is an accomplishment. It is. It's a big accomplishment. So anyway, I'm watering. I'm watering in my garden, and I'm contemplating life. And there's some people that you gotta. They were spamming. Okay. Some people you just gotta let go in life. They gotta let go. Like you have weeds in your garden. You're always gonna have weeds, right? You're always gonna have unwanted. Learn how to speak at 2 years old. Goodness gracious. You're always gonna have unwanted. That's a given. Just like weeds, we're always going to have the weeds. They're going to grow. They're going to be in your life all the time. And so you learn how to deal with them, right? You learn how to mulch them down and do the best you can to control them. But there's also people that come into your life, like the annuals we talked about. They're going to bring beauty into your life for a period of time, for a season. And then they're going to be gone. And God keeps putting those into your life all along. Then there's what we call the perennials, those that hang around, right? Those that that's going to be there, the long run, the long haul. They're going to be there for you, and so you spend time with them, and you and some of them they don't need much care either, do they? Some of them they just explained it over and over till I was like 6, born with a muscle deficiency. Yeah. I think with Tiny Man, something about his tongue is too thick or something. I don't know. I don't understand that kind of stuff. I'm the type of person, I don't like to read instructions. I don't like to, just show me how to do it and I'll do it. Okay. Don't explain it to me. Just show me how to do it and I'll do it. And that's why I don't understand a lot of this stuff. That's you, a perennial. There you go. There you go. Somebody that's going to stick around. Somebody that's going to be there in the long run. And I got a friend of mine, my best friend. Hey, Misha, good morning. My best friend, he lives in Louisiana, and we've been friends over 30-something years now. And we don't have to talk to each other every day. I mean, we may talk to each other once a week, maybe once a month, maybe see each other, 2-3 times a year, whatever. It don't really matter. But I'm always there for him. He's always there for me. That's kind of what I'm talking about, like the perennial people that's going to be there. People that's going to be through thick and thin. They're not just going to come and go. And there's nothing wrong with the come and goers because they do bring some beauty in your life, and sometimes life just takes them away. But not only that, perennial weeds. Ear canals are tiny, and a lot of time they have to have, I think he's already had his tonsils removed. I think he has. That's right. Yeah, I mean, those are friends. Anyway, but I'm out there and I'm thinking and I'm watering. And there's some things that's dying off. And there's even patches of bare ground that I hadn't got to yet, that I hadn't tried to tend to. There's other places that are thriving. I'm out there watering. I'm thinking, I don't know if I need to do this. Am I wasting my time? Do I need to just concentrate on this one or that one or whatever? And some people learn by reading, being told. I'm all those together. I use both sides of the brain. I need to use parts of my brain. Y'all, I'm going to get to this. And I'm out there watering, and I'm thinking, is it worth it? Is it worth doing what I'm doing? And really, I got to thinking about it. I said, it is worth it. And even though things die, and even though it doesn't seem like there's much good accomplished, I'm preparing ahead. I'm tending to a garden that at the moment isn't the most productive garden, but I'm hey, good morning, Jan. Good morning. Some people come and go, but they still add value. Some people improve person when they leave. Those are the weeds. That's right. You holler the guy at Walmart and, hey, you. Grace Sternfire. I can't imagine her turning red. I just can't imagine it. And I can't imagine you doing something to make her do. Hey there, Daz. Good to see you. Good day. Well, I appreciate that. You just saying that because it's true. Oh, you're looking at your profile picture. You got cantaloupes. Vines aren't looking good. Like water in. No. Well, yeah, I don't do so much watering. Giggling. Hello, Jesse. Thank you, Rebecca. I appreciate that so much. I'm actually going longer than what I intended on going. But I wanted to get this analogy across. It just has taken me the entire time because I get sidetracked. Preparing ahead. I'm still watering the microbes in the soil still need to live, don't they? Because that's what is furnishing the nutrients to the plants. And even though my plants aren't productive, and even though I've still got to continue the maintenance, because eventually there'll be a season where these plants will want to grow. Does that make sense? So you continue to cultivate, you continue to fertilize, you continue to water, and during their season, during their times, you continue to do this stuff. You continue to prepare the mulch, the compost, the seeds. We're getting seeds. We're getting seeds now and saving them for next year. You're preparing ahead. Hold on just a second. I'm sorry. I heard the dogs really barking. I thought it might have been the FedEx guy bringing, or the UPS guy, or whoever it might be, bringing my plants. And I didn't want to miss them. I didn't want them to sit out there. I wanted to get them in. But anyway, you prepare ahead, right? And you and that's just like life too, isn't it? It's like life too. There's children, and there's your grandchildren, whatever, that you're preparing for the future, and they need you right now to cultivate them, to water them, to fertilize them, to all the analogies that are garden related. They need you there, and right now they're not very productive. But you hope that one day they will be, right? You hope that one day they will be. I don't know how I got off on all that, but I did. Y'all, I appreciate y'all coming in. It really makes my day to talk with you. And I know I went off on a bunch of different tandems today. I'm just in a very reflective, contemplative mood. Hey, Simply Jan, did I speak to you? I can't remember. But you know how I get sometimes. There's a lot to think about, and don't want to be too deep because I can only wade out in the shallow water. But it is something to think about, and especially when it's so hot that you don't want to go outside and do anything. So you got to think of ways to justify why you're not outside doing things. Zany May, you have a fantastic day. You may have a fantastic. I talk sense. Well, I'm glad somebody thinks so. Joy to all our squad. Look, I am so proud and thankful that every one of you came in. If I missed some of you, I'm so sorry. We'll do better next time, or try to do better. And I hope every one of you can be my perennials. And if you're just an annual, you have made my day. You have brightened my day. Thank you, Rebecca, so much. But I think I'm going to go ahead and get off. I know Ann's not going on. So somebody else, I don't know what you're going to do. I don't like Scott. What you going to do? What you going to do? I'm so used to getting over there and turning Ann on and speaking and then doing my work while I'm in and out and keeping up with it. And I don't know who I'm going to turn on now. I just don't. Christy, thank you for coming in. I do appreciate it. I appreciate it very, very much. Time for a little siesta. Look, appreciate that, Daz. Good to see you too. Y'all have a fantastic day. And look, I hope to see some of you over in Alabama in a couple of weekends if we hadn't melted down by then. God bless. We'll talk to you later.